Welcome back, guys. We are here at the LCK 2020 for the first match that we did have coming out there. It was, of course, APK taking the victory over Hanwha Life in a kind of sad way, as Hanwha Life kind of threw the game away. They had a big lead there in the mid-game, but at the Baron, the game just went very one-sided to the side of APK. So they take game number 1, and now they have to somehow come back here mentally and not get tilted after that game 1. How do you think they're going to pull it off here, Wadid?
Oh yeah, I mean, first of all, they just need to change their ban picks completely, because as I said, there was no game plan, and any purpose of picking all those champions, all those 5 champions, I mean, I can see that they have great early game on the bottom side with the Misfortune. Yeah, that kind of worked out. Vista did a lot of great team fights with the Misfortune, and they got the early lead as well. That leads to the Herald situation for the Hanwha Life in the early game. But anyways, what was that 3 AP? I mean, useless topside.
The on-hit cannon was kind of sad to watch, and I hope we don't have to watch that again, as Hybrid is going to pick up the player of the game. He's got 8 player of the games on a team that only has 5 wins so far here in series. Definitely a big-time carry for his team.
Yeah, and also I think Secret should get some spotlight, because yeah, I can see that Hybrid is playing good, but also as AD carry, if you want to have great time in the team fight and laning phase, then your support needs to work a lot. Because yeah, look at him, he's getting all the damage instead of Hybrid, and shielding all the damage. So I just want to spotlight Secret again, because he's playing also really great every game when APK won the game against all the teams. So yeah, even though Hybrid got the POG right there, it's a 9 out of 9, but still, you know, it's all about bot lane synergy, and they're showing off, so I'm glad.
Yeah, for sure. The two of them did have a great duo game, as there were many highlights that Secret had. One of them, unfortunately, wasn't shown, where he got his ult off right before a stopwatch to avoid bullet time and interrupted it. It was definitely a big moment for Secret, as I definitely liked his play in this game a little bit more than some of the other games that we have seen in recent times. So absolutely, it's not going to be easy for Hanwha Life to handle that bot side, especially Hybrid's, you know, anything at this point, because he's proven that he's not like an Ezreal one trick or anything. He's just a straight up great AD carry for every single pick.
And he also broke up those jinx actually. Easter had the 8 games losing streak right before that game, and he actually broke it by himself. So again, he's always playing good, and the good part for the APK is Secret is finally out of the Nautilus one trick, you know. So that makes the APK bot lane so much easier. Even though like some people are saying that why APK is not using Mia, because he seemed like he's having better time with the laning phase. But yeah, Secret is finally proving that he deserves more spot than Mia. And this is the first pick, Kalista by Hanwha Life. And yeah, I hope it's just bot lane Kalista, because just have a normal draft when you're lower tier team is so much easier to have great game than having a random draft, you know. So they should finish with the Taric, but maybe APK just takes away. But they don't care actually.
Yeah, they're just gonna let the Taric go. A very obvious pick for Lahens with the Kalista first pick, and he had a pretty good game on the Taric. I mean, it was kind of hard given the situation after the Baron for him to do much. But before that happened, he was playing a good Taric for sure. And so it seems like APK did just want to prioritize another couple of picks, as let's see what will be picked here by Hanwha Life. Will they just pick up a jungle, or do they want to prioritize a mid pick? Tempt did have some pretty insane Azir plays in recent times, but they're going to go for the Zoe blind once again.
I mean, look at their draft compared to game 1. It's already so great. Like Taric and Kalista on the bot lane. You have early and late game guaranteed, and Zoe in the mid lane for the early game. It's already so great. And APK finished up with the Braum, but I really don't like it because you lose lane basically against the Taric and Kalista. And also, I don't feel like you have great late game. But yeah, I mean, he showed up great performance with the Braum at game 1, so maybe that's why he just picked again, because he's kind of having a comfort zone with the Braum. And flawless with the Trundle again, with the 2 jungle bans again. So it seems like legit for the APK side.
Yeah, they do pull that off. We see Zilean banned again. There's no Yuumi ban this time because, of course, the support is picked already from APK. And yeah, I think it is just, you know, Secret is feeling it, especially after game number 1, which we did highlight his Braum play. So I don't really mind it too much after all. We'll have to see if Haru goes back to Gragas, as that is still left available, and what is going to be the pick here for the side of APK, because they have to pick something into probably Zoe, and it looks like it will be the Aurelia.
I wish Hanwha Life picks Kindred this time. Not like picking Gragas randomly again and picking Kennen also on the top side.
Yeah.
That's one of the disaster again. And they're picking Gnar. I mean, I don't like Gnar that much on the top lane, but still probably better than Kennen. And yeah, they just need to have one Joker pick in the team composition, you know? And yeah, at least I think it's great. They have so much power and potential for the early game. They should have early game on the top side and mid as well, and also bot side. And at least is gonna accelerate the game with her abilities. So I think this rabbit is still good for Hanwha Life. And APK, yeah, they picked the Aurelia again. Cover showed up some great games with Aurelia, but he also died so many times, so I'm not sure it's gonna hit it in a good way for the APK this time around.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see him pick that pickup once again. And when I saw the Gnar for Hanwha Life, I was kind of scratching my head, but you know, they did have to blind pick, and then the Elise comes in, and this is Haru's Elise. He's definitely he's quite a good Elise player from what we have seen before. He really likes to put on the pressure in the top lane at level 3, as many Elises do like to do. And yeah, I think that Flawless might be a little bit, you know, I think he's just going to be trying to mirror the Elise and trying to keep the early game stable for his team, because if they do hit late game with some of their, you know, team fight ultimates, you look at Aurelia, Misfortune, Rumble, as the 3 of them, 3 carries, they do have some good potential, especially if they can hard engage onto Hanwha Life's side.
Yeah, but they do not have that great engage tool in the APK side, so I think the composition has more difficulty compared to Hanwha Life side. So this time around, they should have some advantage in every single lane, and it should snowball to the Nashor pit and do not repeat insane Nashor again.
Yeah, that's going to be goal number 1 for them. Just try not to do that. Try not to throw the game once again. And I mean, I think they do have a little bit easier of a time with the Kalista, but still do have to be careful up against the side of APK. As Isu just going for a pretty normal pick up in the top side. We saw him hover some crazy stuff. We saw Morgana. We saw the Mundo coming out, but at the end of the day, just picking kind of the normal Rumble. They did need some AP damage because before that they really only had Subjugate from Trundle and I suppose Braum, but that doesn't really count. And so they did end up going for this Rumble. We don't see Ryze anymore. That was a big AP champion that could be flexed and also provided AP damage if you were lacking it into the top side. But we do get Rumble. Very common for AP top.
And yeah, I'm just gonna talk about Gnar again. The reason why top tier team is not picking Gnar at all is because of the difficulty. Because as Gnar, you should win lane, and yeah, even if you cannot win the lane, maybe some people can say Gnar has a great team fight potential, but it's really hard in the team game, especially when you need to control the rage, and everyone can see it. And this time around, Trundle and Rumble level 1, so probably that's why they're trying blue invade. But they already know. With the ward over. Smite? Oh, man.
Well, that is one way to get in the enemy jungle's face, and you remember that Flawless tried to do this in the beginning of Game 1 and failed a little bit? Well, this time around, he's absolutely going to have a fun time, as he's also chasing after Tempt, but a nice little dodge arena there from Tempt to just walk back into mid, and Flawless is going to walk away.
Oh yeah, and Lee Hans and Vista is level 1, but they're just covering mid lane. I mean, jungler. Because if they lose red as well, then the game is gonna be so hard. Yeah, this time around, Flawless got the flawless play in the enemy jungle side. So this is very great news for APK, which they need to snowball Ollie against their late game teamfight against the Hanwha. So I think this is a very great start. And they already got the both side advantage as well, because Lee Hans tried to cover up on the top side jungle. So he moved up at level 1. So they might have gank potential, but not having a lane prior. So Haru needs to do something with Elise, and he lost the Ollie. So that's already bad news.
Getting another listen.
앨리스 여기 보인다? 렌즈 돌렸어?
Let's see what they have to say.
나래도 있을 거야 형. 괜찮?
조인 없어. 2대2야, 2대2야.
타릭
Two v two? No worries.
이게 보면 타릭 올라.
나이스.
Tarek is coming. Oh yeah?
생겨서.
Holy moly.
앨리스 풀 뺐어? 와 나이스
아,
게이드.
한
At least no
명,
feel.
한 명.
At least no
패드를
flash. Wow, such a huge benefit. They're like surprised by a Tarek move, so they try to get back, but they got the blue eventually. So they were really happy after that moment.
It went about as well as it possibly could have, right? They denied bottom lane a bunch of XP because of Lehens's move. They pick up the blue, they get the flash from the Elise, who is not going to have that flash now for potential invades or anything like that. Flawless gets ahead, so now he's able to neutralize the early game potential of the Elise. And as you mentioned, I mean, that is a big key here for Hanwha Life. As a little bit of trading down here on the bottom side. Vista actually in a little bit of trouble, is going to get stunned up, and they do have to use the exhaust on their side. You can see that Hanwha Life is running double exhaust in the bottom lane, and so now one of them will be taken away.
Oh yeah. Did you see how Secret tries to trade against Tarek and Kalista? That was just so great.
Yeah. He certainly understands what he's doing on the Braum. It has been a good look for him in that support role now for a couple of games in a row. And the first Ocean Drake is going to be coming up here in just a moment. Flawless looks like he's once again just shadowing Haru. He's like, I know exactly where you are. Go ahead and try to gank. I'll be right there. He's running straight at Haru and just saying, you can't do anything. And,
oh yeah, as you mentioned it, at least lost the flash at level 1, which is, it can be called ultimate for at least for the early game with the flash, because you can actually have some gank potential, and Trundle is now ganking early game against Elise.
He did greed a little bit for the ward, but
Nice
flawless dodge once again. As ult is going to come in here, you can see that 10 does have to flash his real flash on the back of that one. So level 6 hit by cover with the slow push before the Zoe to get that little advantage, and everything once again is going in the direction of APK.
Yeah. Oh,
Here we go.
flash.
But Haru is here, so the counter gank could be effective. They're trying to burst down Secret. They should be able to pick up
Vista's
that pick,
dead.
but Vista is being chased down. He is going to be chomped down here by the Trundle, but Haru now on the chase. Hybrid decides to flash away and leave Flawless to die, as Haru's positioning that time around, expecting the follow-up gank, was exceptional, and he was able to pick up 2 kills because of it.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't one-shot Kalista right there because they had to exhaust. So this time around, Vista had the exhaust this time, so they couldn't one-shot it. And also they have Braum and Trundle, which is not a great target CC for the bot lane service trade. And also that was really great counter gank by Haru right there. Yeah, and yeah, probably exhaust was not that impactful because of the cleans by Hybrid, but still, kind of worked out pretty well. They forced APK to do this kind of stuff, and they got the great early game lead, and
Little trade up in the top side. Well, actually, I suppose it's a big trade, as Ixu did have to flash away from Cuvée. Just a straight up solo play there from Cuvée, as the top laners haven't visited, no, the jungles haven't visited top lane at all yet in this game. Just leaving them down up there alone for now.
I mean, that's already a good signal for Nar right there, because he's winning the lane, right? So it doesn't matter that he has a hard champion to play the team game. If you are winning the lane, and he forced the flash, I mean, Ixu really graded. I mean, he really trolled in this moment. Just jumping in when Nar has Mega Nar timing. That was not the great. Maybe he didn't expect that, because you cannot. I mean, you cannot play against a Nar that many times. So probably Cuvée wants to play Nar again, because not many players are knowing how to play against Nar in lane. You know? Probably in team fight it's easy to play against, but in lane, yeah. I mean, Cuvée showed it. So they have great top advantage. So it leads to the header play again. And they don't even make their bot lanes help with this hour, probably.
Oh, not again. He doesn't have flash, and he's definitely going to die here. I suppose maybe he didn't know he was in the brush, but that is going to be a nice little mistake going their way, as now cover rather is going to be baited into this one, just running through the river. They're going to hand the kill over to the Kalista, and just like that, they have the play down in the bottom side. Ixu gives a kill away, cover gets baited, and with the Rift Herald going the way of Hanwha Life, they are pretty nicely in the lead at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hilarious to watch APK's game, because even though they have such a great start at the late game, they still just having a fun time in the early game, because it feels like, ah man, we have hybrid, so it doesn't matter if we int here and just having a bad time in the early game run. So yeah, they just keep playing aggressive even though they shouldn't.
Stun there from the end was key. It stopped Hybrid from following up with a bullet time or anything like that, and so the teleport is not going to do anything. Ixu having a really rough time so far in this one. Just trying to help out his bot lane. Probably was called down there from his bot, and now Cuvée just going to enjoy his time in the solo lane up on the top side. He doesn't have an opponent for now. As we're going to see again, he saw him go into the brush.
Yeah, and he should know that. I mean, I think He can't even get solo killed by there, by the way. I don't think, yeah, Elise needs to have that there. Even though you might think that Elise was not there, but Nart could just easily solo kill there too. So that was just so into play by Ixu right there on the top side. And APK in general, they're just running around left and right and up and down.
Oh. Cover baited here a little bit, but he's going to be just fine. And yeah, I think you are right. Ixu seems to have a little bit of a lack of understanding of how to play against Gnar. And it's Cube's Gnar as well, which is very well known for being quite good. They need to know how to play against that Gnar and how to handle it in the lane, because clearly he doesn't really know exactly how to trade against it, or what to even do if he does have the ability to. And the case has been a solid no for that question for this entire game.
Yeah, but still, APK has great potential by Hybrid. He's still winning the lane, didn't die in this game yet. So all they need to do is just cover up Hybrid and just pray for him. And Hanwha Life really needs to snowball this game. Even though they have great competition, I don't think they can win by competition by their play. When I saw their Nesha try at the game 1, they just need to keep snowball it, and this is a great signal. They have Herald on the top side, ball and advantage as well, and Lee Hans can move all the time on the top side, and Tempt also. I mean, he's losing CS pretty hard, but still, he's Zoe, so he's gonna be still impactful in the skirmishes. And yeah, it's pretty long wait on the top side by Haru.
Yeah, by Haru and by Flawless. The two of them were just hanging out on the top side, but Haru is going to win the waiting war, as he does get a bunch of damage done to the turret. Juve, they're going to be able to push in here, get all these plates down, take down the turret before 14 minutes. And Hybrid was having a bit of fun down in the bottom side at the same time, but it's not going to amount to the same amount of gold that Hanwha Life was able to pick up. Braum backing on a ward. Generally not a good idea. As now the top lane, Kive not stopping the push with the Mega Gnar. He's just going to say, yeah, I can hang out here. Should be totally fine. Cover hard pushing the mid lane. He's quite far ahead in terms of CS, even though he did get baited that one time in the river. Still about 25 CS once. Well, I suppose it's like 30 CS. I thought Zoe would have more with the wave coming in, but not quite the case here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if Hanwha Life is gonna try to fight this Drake around, because, yeah, I mean, mid lane, even though you're losing 30 CS, you still have one item, so that's not much of like huge difference. But their ball lane, they're losing CS as well, and Kalista has not completed the bulk right there, so I'm not sure if they can actually fight the Drake here. Because if they lose one team fight, then it's gonna snowball so hard for the APK side. So they just need to be decisive when it comes to objective. And it looks like they just want to control vision first in the mid lane prior. And yeah, it looks great. Cube is using his top lane priority. And Ixu is also here.
Oh, they're trying to turn down here onto Lehens. They have to burn Fate's Call before the fight even really begins. Flawless will flash away after seeing the Elise coming down the river, as now Ixu has to flash here too. Very awkward spot for him, as he didn't have much cover from his mid lane as it was pushed in for the moment. And now with the Mega Gnar up, Hanwha Life would love to get on in here and start taking out this Drake, as he's going to deny the blasting plant there. Nicely done by Vista, and this will actually go the way of Hanwha Life just because of the lead up with the little skirmishes before the fight actually did happen, going in the way of Hanwha Life.
better positioning. Because as I said, mid priority before the objective is most important thing in League of Legends. And Hanwha Life got the mid priority as streamer. And APK kind of tried to break up those kind of theory, but it didn't work out that well. So they just lost Drake automatically because of the position. You know? Hanwha Live could actually just group as 5 easily in 1 second, but APK couldn't. So all great by Hanwha Live. They already got the 2 Drakes, and that's another Herald as well. So it seems like it's snowballing really smoothly. And also solo kill.
Oh no. Poor Ixu. The Rumble not impressing us tonight.
Oh
And
man. I mean,
there's no vision. I mean, he just, of course, with no flash, he can't be that far up the lane.
I'm not sure if you can say poor Ixu instead of poor hybrid, because
True.
he's not gonna have fun time with this game, you know? He was just farming for 16 minutes, and this game is not gonna be that easy for him already, you know? So I don't think it's like poor Ixu. I feel more bad about the hybrid, even though Ixu died alone here. So even though they have great carry on the bottom side, if your top side is just keep winning the game, then you cannot go to the late game.
Yeah. League of Legends team game. You know, you can have one person carry, but if there's this huge dead weight on your team, you're not gonna have a good time. As Flash comes in here, cover nice read. As he was being collapsed on from many different angles. No objective really on the map right now, but there is the Rift Herald in Haru's pockets. So they could have been looking for perhaps a kill into a push. Doesn't amount to anything. As Ixu is not backing down. Here's Fate's call onto Hybrid. He has to flash as well. Little movement there at the end. And yeah, just burning a bunch of flashes already from APK before they do go for the push here is on the life. And let's see what they can get from this, or if they will go for it. It looks like they're faking mid and going bot, but it is spotted out here by Hybrid, who will back away.
Yeah, as you saw from the stats, I think APK right now, they're already in the form that they're just waiting for the late game for Hybrid. And yeah, there is no more extra kills or extra int moments by APK, because they already decide to just go to the late game, because they know that they have great late game. But I'm not sure if they can reach to that point, even though Hanwha Life has great early leads with the Drake rotation and map rotation, objective controls. Yeah, I mean, everything seems really great for Hanwha Life compared to game 1. All they need to do is just be decisive and be smart about the Nesha control, because that's just all matters. They already win the game 1 because of that. So all they need to do is just control the map with the vision control. Look at the vision control on the bot side by Hanwha Life. Their control wards and their just normal wards in the enemy jungle. That jungle side is already Hanwha Life's jungle. So all they need to do is just keep invading enemy jungle, get the jungle camps, and try to not have random moments, you know? Because that one is just the one that APK really wants to make happen. Just random fights, random cut, random side lane plays, random team fights. So yeah.
Yeah, they will be looking to deny as much vision as possible to enable those chances that they do pick that up. But as you mentioned, APK, they look totally different in the way they're positioning. It's just like, yeah, let's sit back. I think they got pretty lucky that it is just a Cloud Drake soul, and then that it's not something else, especially with the champions that are on the side of Hanwha Life. I don't think the Cloud Drake soul is going to make a huge difference. So they can kind of just give that away, try to scale up, potentially look for some picks, but you do have to be careful with the Mega Gnar up here from Cuvée. Temps looking to poke. Cocoon will go wide. And especially with all the flashes down, I think APK needs to just back away. I don't think there's any way they can actually fight for this dragon.
Yeah,
Just
and Herod
accept
on the
the
bot
loss.
side as well. I think they just tried something, because this time around there was not many item difference. So probably that's why they tried. But positioning wise, Hanwha Live already got the great vision control, so it was just so hard for APK just to position to fight well. Because vision matters when it comes to teamfight positioning and objective control, as you know. So it was just great control by Hanwha Live, and they denied everything from Hanwha Live. From APK side right now. And Nasher is left, only one that left in the map right now. So I just want to see how they play Nasher after that gameplay in game 1.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of a trauma for them, for sure. Where maybe they want to just avoid the Baron for a little bit because they're scared of throwing the game. But you gotta just reset your mind for every new game that you do go into and try to forget what happened in game number 1 and just try to make a better call. And that's really all you can try to do from this position. Obviously, as long as they don't do any kind of crazy, Baron rush where they leave themselves very weak and open to APK, they should be pretty fine to take it after some picks. They have some really nice pick potential with Elise Zoe, that mid-duo combo, and they also do have Fate's Call, even Cuvée to get some flash ultimates if the time is right. So for Hanwha Life, I think as well, just try to push the issue a bit, but as long as you don't overdo it and, go for any crazy plays like a Baron play at 21 minutes, they should be okay to continue with their lead.
Yeah, and I really think Cover need to show off with his Irelia, because he's winning CS a lot, but he's not doing anything that much for the game. So
well, this is one way to try to push the issue. Tempt does have flash though, so again, just an ultimate that does get used to burn a flash from the enemy team.
Yeah.
Not much else.
There is actually a meme in Korea about the CS. When you have most CS but not impacting the game, then Koreans are being sarcastic, and we call it CS door. You know the Ballon d'Or from soccer, football, right? And we just call and they're just calling it like CS door, and that means that you win CS but you lost the game, like being sarcastic, So yeah,
Okay.
Cover won the CS door, but he really need to show off something in the team fight for the team, because CS doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, if you don't do anything with it, then what's the point of having all that gold if you don't use it for something? You can look good, but it's not gonna make you win the game. We take a look at some of the XP here. It does look like Cuvée and Tempt slightly ahead of Cover, but they're all pretty much the same, whereas everybody else is below them. Yeah, not much else happening in this game. I think that APK, as I mentioned before, they kind of got a free ticket into the late game because it is the Cloud Drake Soul. And they'll just say, we're not going to fight you unless we see a really big opportunity or get a really nice angle as Haru. That was a little bit awkward, but he's able to repel out of there. And so APK is just waiting, and Hanwha Life are struggling to be proactive because it's not like they can do Baron.
This time around, they can actually force it so easily, because they have Kalista, even though Kalista E got nerfed against the objectives. Still, they have Elise and Kalista. They can probably burst at like 1.5k against Trundle, because Elise can just use Q and smite at the same time with the Kalista E.
Yeah.
So
it's very true. They do get the flash out of Flawless here, and he almost dies. That I think absolutely would have triggered them to go straight into that Baron play. Tempest is just running on through, trying to get to Cuvee, and no stun in the jungle as now Cuvee is all alone. How did they manage this as now cover is going to get exhausted down. He is just going to try to survive here. He was all alone, very spread out from his teammates, as now for some reason they're still trying to fight against Vista, or rather against APK. As it does not work even with the double exhaust, as now, just like that, another bit of a baseball throw, if you will, as APK say, now we can deny your Cloud Soul, now we can deny your Baron, and now we can extend this game for another 8 to 10 minutes.
What was that play by Tent? What was that attempt by Tent, actually?
Yeah.
That was straight running from Tent right there. I mean, he was like trying to get... I don't know. I don't actually know what was his purpose right there. And let's see it again. He just flashed over the wall, just running around with the tons of movement speed probably that he thought. Oh my god, man.
No
that
way
was
to
a straight up
explain it.
inting. Yeah. Oh my god. I just cannot explain it. Because I just don't understand it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you could, I suppose you can think about what might have been going through his mind. He had Cuvee from the right side, and they said, oh, let's try to burst down Ixu. But you can't... You can't run through 4 enemies to do that. Like, that's not the way it works. Like, you have to be a bit careful about where you're running. It's kind of like he wasn't looking at his champion or something and didn't realize he was running straight into the enemy team, and then he just lost his life.
I mean, I think maybe he's having fun with his W ability. Like, you use a Nimbus Clock on Zoe, right? And like, he's like, oh yeah, I used the fake flash and I have 1k movement speed with my Nimbus Clock.
Yeah.
Look at me, guys. And like, he just died, you know. Maybe he was just enjoying the game too much. But yeah, Hanwha Live is not doing anything with those kind of lead. They try to do Nasher and they force the Trundle Flash. But this game is actually so easy to have Nasher control and force the Nasher, because first of all, they can take Nasher because of Taric, and second, they have enough damage for Nasher, and third, they have great early advantage with the what they got in the early game, and they already got the vision control as well. So it's really interesting that they're not trying Nasher at all, and they just keep trying. Yeah, I mean, as you said, I think they're just way too afraid to do try Nasher again after game 1. Because I really don't
say.
Yeah.
It looks like they're just playing scared, and you can't. You have to be able to do that. Cuvee just going to get crit in the face there by MF, and she's 4-0-1, guys. By the way, 4-0-1. This might just turn into the hybrid show. I don't know what Hanwha Life is going to do, but it's clear that they just do not have the confidence as a team to do what it takes and take the little risks, because as you mentioned, it's not even that big of a risk because of their composition and because they were ahead and because they did have vision control. They didn't have the confidence to do it though, and that might just lead to their demise here in game 2.
Yeah, there was so many ways that you can do Nasher right there. Like, Kalista and Taric maybe can just deal Nasher while Elise and Zoe is destroying some skills. And I mean, you don't need that. You have silent pressure as well. Zoe can push against Irelia because of the vision control, and Nar is winning ball lane as well. And you have all the vision control. They cannot even enter their jungle against Kalista, Taric, and Elise and Zoe. And you're not trying Nasher? That's just such a disaster, and it's already gone for Hanwha Life, I feel like, because they gave so much time already for APK side, and APK is one of the team that if they hit the late game power spike, they win game mostly because of the hybrid carry.
Yeah. He's 4-0-1. He built his Bloodthirster after the kill. He's got 3.5 items, and they're big items too. They're expensive, and you can see now, if you look at the gold on the top, it doesn't tell the full story, because the compositions were passing 30 minutes. They have a super fed hybrid who is playing a late game skilling AD carry, and who is known to carry in the late game. I don't think that Hanwha Life are ahead from here, but they don't really seem to know what to do from their position either. They're just grouping up in mid. They're trying to get that mid priority before the objective, as you did mention. But split push from Aurelia. They got Rumble in position. APK have been able to take some vision away. And I think that APK have a great chance to take this fight once it does open up here.
Yeah. They don't know about the Aurelia positioning, so that's why Lee Hans is warding there. Such a great play by Lee Hans. And they're the choke.
Okay, trying to collapse here onto Flawless. Lots of damage coming up here, but they are grouping up. Will they get that Trundle? The answer is yes, and actually cover as well is going to go down here as APK could not find the angle. No bullet time was used, and in fact, Hanwha Life are going to win this fight and take the Cloud Soul.
Oh man, it feels like I'm watching my solo queue games.
Yeah.
Spectating. Because Hybrid was not even there, by the way. And here is Hybrid, but it's 3v5. So, and you're not easier this time, so I don't think he can carry along this game.
Oh man.
I mean, it's like...
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, their AD carry is so fat, so all they need to do is just wait for their AD carry and just die for it. And yeah, I mean, it's just similar as my solo queue. I'm winning ball lane every single game, and their top, my top side is like just running around and like, I don't want to win. It seems like it, you know? I don't know how to explain anymore, because this is so random, and they don't need to make random plays anymore, because they already got the advantage. Hybrid already got some bad item, and look at Hybrid position. He decided to just go clear mid wave, and their team is just running in for the team fight. That's just so unsynced, and at the same time, there's no respect towards their AD carry. And he should be so mad about this, because he can actually carry this game, even though he's playing against Kalista Taric. I don't think a champion matters for Hybrid. He can for sure having a great late game with the misfortune. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Hybrid might lose this game as 4-0-1 MF. That might just happen. The game isn't over. Again, it is the Cloud Soul. It's not going to be like an Ocean Soul where if you give that away, it's like, well, go next. I guess we lost this one, guys. Cloud Soul is handleable, but they're still going to be going up against this Baron push. The Rumble is going to be trying to push it back, but still they will be taking a bunch of damage here. Hanwha Life trying to get as much of a lead with this Baron power play as possible, as they do have some nice siege potential with the Zoe. Gonna come in here, take away the mid inhibitor, whilst going for the bottom side with Cuvée just pushing in with the Baron. Looking to collapse now onto this objective, but the Trundle Pillar plus Equalizer is going to be effective for getting the Cosmic Radiance away. Cuvée taking a huge amount of damage from the double up, but Ixu Vista is just going to put him in the grave just like that by himself, essentially. Had a little bit of health from the Dazzle, I believe. He's just frontlining, and now he's just going to die! Oh no!
What?
Do they have the damage? The answer is absolutely not. Oh, what did? Oh, well, we talked about Hanwha Life lacking confidence. Well, Vista clearly was not lacking his overconfidence at the end of that fight.
Oh my god, that's such a Kek W moment right there.
Yes, great way to describe that moment.
There is just so many random throws. Yeah, I mean, like my solo queue. Just so random. We cannot call this team game. just like so many random plays, but at the same time, Cover did hit the stun on the Kalista, which is so hard. So, such a great play. But anyway, that was unnecessary aggressiveness by Visa right there. He could actually win the game alone. He was kiting really well right before that moment, but just one step made him insta-die. So, but still, Hanwha Life got the 2 inhibitors, right? It should be so easy for them to play this game. And all they need to do is just wait for the super minion creeps on the mid and bottom, and just don't fight before the minion wave crash. And it looks like they are gonna fight here.
Yeah, Fate's Call and Flash available for Taric, so it's not like they can easily set that up as the Flash stun coming on in. Cosmic Radiance trying to force this fight here. Knockup from the Braum is going to sail wide, as now Hanwha Life on the chase. That is one way to take a fight.
Yeah.
If
I mean, it's fine.
APK,
Yeah.
so you try to force it like that.
I mean, if you can catch Inter for free, then it's fine. It's really fine. Nothing is gonna happen. And all they need to do is just push topside. And maybe if you're not that feel like it's guaranteed, then you can even get Elder. And it seems like Live is trying to get Elder as well, because they're so afraid to do something. Because yeah, they already inted so many times, so I mean, they should at this point. And even if, let's say, I'm playing in Hanwha side, I'm just gonna just go Elder. We're so bad. Just get everything we can get. So
We're so bad.
yeah, I mean, even though they're winning, you know, that's just normally what you're saying during the game. Like when you had these kind of so many random moments in the game. You know?
Yeah. I see what you mean, especially from that very personal perspective that I'm sure you may have experienced yourself from time to time, as APK, with the Elder Drake available, you can see they're really trying to make a stand here. Hybrid is 7-0-1, but they would like to engage. They don't exactly want to just lose to the poke, as in goes Hybrid, gonna chunk down 2 people already, and also pick up the Fate's Call. And the question is, can they fight into the river and get position? Okay, with the Redemption, it looks like they should be able to. Tempt also going to take a huge amount of damage. APK trying to get in here. The Cosmic Radiance comes down again, as the Cloud Drake Soul is really doing work right now for the Taric. And with the base in tatters,
Backdoor.
they need to, the
Korean
Nar
G2
is going into there. Korean G2 trying to do this, trying to go for the back door. It is not going to be successful to end the game, but it should be successful to take the Elder Drake. So it's still a good play. They get the best objective on the map, just like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just laughing because I don't know how to explain this game anymore. I mean, they almost lost the game again. By the way, on the Elder side, they almost managed to have a team fight against the non-engage comp. But at the same time, QVET decided to just backdoor this at the backyard. So it was a great choice. They didn't die, so if they can get Nashor either, then this game should be really easy game for Hanwha Life in this game. Should be. Must be. Must be. It must be.
Yeah, I mean, it seems as if it should just be GG from there. But based on what we've seen in this game, I'm not 100% sure. APK, they want to take a fight against Elder Drake. Generally not a good idea. But let's see what they can do. The Wombo combo, gonna sail wide. Bullet time not finding that effectiveness, as APK are now kind of scratching their heads. What do we do from here?
Brami's gonna have ulti in 1 second. Yeah, he's getting it.
Okay, gonna go for the knockup there. They just gotta create space for Hybrid. Trying to get in there with the Cosmic Radiance, as cover is going to have that GA pop, and down will go the Braum as well, but Hybrid still full health with the Redemption. Not quite able to do it, but Hybrid does get a couple of big shots. Can he do it again here in game 2? Is the question, but oh man, Haru pulling it off. in the mid lane as, Cube is gonna barely go down. Hybrid waiting in the brush. It's 1v3 right now as Hanwha Life just trying to get vision and push in against Hybrid. He's got one turret and a dream. Can he do it?
Yes, cleans, but no flash.
Cleanse but no flash, and he's going against Vista too, who, okay, that's a good start, and he is going to cleanse, but it's still too much against the Elder Drake. Hanwha Life, they will be able to fight with the Game 2 victory. We get a clap from Wadid over that insane game. I don't even know what I was watching. Just a very fun and for fun game there from both of the teams, as we will get a third game from these two teams.
I'm happy that we can listen to another Dududunga, not having another game in this series.
Priorities.
That's just all, priorities. Dududunga, more than this game. Like, there was so many, again, random moments. It didn't seem like synchronized the team game by LCK teams. I'm not sure what they were looking for, but anyways, win is win, and Hanwha Life got the game 2, so we're going to game 3. Yeah.
We do get an extra bonus game, I would call it. As,
extra bonus Dududunga, I would say.
Oh, true. Yes, once again, priorities on the Dududunga. Make sure you guys are staying during the break and you get your fulfillment, your fill of the Dududunga, just to, to make sure you're getting your value from watching. And going into game 3, I really don't know who to favor. I think I would still have to favor APK, but as Hanwha Life proved in game 2, anything can happen. And anything will happen.
Yeah. My brain is melting, so yeah. We need to take a rest. Short break. After 5 minutes, we're gonna go into game 3.
Yeah.
Such a clown fiesta.
Highlighted here. This was the beginning of the fun.
Yeah. Beginning of the random throws. Yeah, I mean, I thought APK got this game at some point because Hanwha Life didn't try to Nashor with tons of advantages. And yeah, I mean, but Hanwha Life had the better competition, I would say, for the team fight. And Lihans, I think it's time to vote Lihans. I mean, Lihans probably. Even though Haru played well in this game, I don't feel like even if Lihans didn't play consistent this game, I don't think they can complete this game as W. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I think those two players were absolutely the two candidates from the 5. Vista, there was a moment in time where we considered his name, and then see for yourself. But again, as you said, this was definitely a good stun, but it was also overconfidence from Vista, because if you just play safe there, you just win the game here. There's no need for, elder fights that they almost lose. There's no need for other opportunities for APK to come back in the game. So definitely got to be careful about what you do.
Oh yeah, look at the E stun right there. That was great engaged by Lihans. Even though, I mean, he's engaging with Tariq. How can you imagine that,
Yeah.
Tariq is one of the champions that you play passive for your damage dealers, but Lihans is like saving the inters and looking for the engages, so it was so great.
얘 그 10m는
몰라.
이따 생각해. 이따 생각해.
됐어.
혼자 맞지 마라.
다 같이
They're just following.
들어가.
We
야,
have
나왔다.
planes, but
미안하다.
we got the kill. And
괜찮아. 잘했어.
나도 라인전 너무 못했다.
it's fine. My landing phase was so bad. It's fine. W is W. It's fine. They're just calling it "it's fine" again and again.
Yeah, trying to comfort each other, I suppose, after that game, because we have a lot of fun watching it, especially with so many crazy clown moments and, crazy team fights that probably shouldn't have happened in a clean game of League of Legends. But for them, it definitely was not a fun time because they were in the lead. They couldn't close it out. They just barely won after almost throwing it multiple times. So it's definitely, literally not a very fun time for them. So, guys, we will be back after 5 minutes for game number 3.